boundaries in a relationship?
Boundaries in a relationship. First, you have to understand the importance of boundaries and what the purpose of those boundaries. Boundaries they do not exist for you to keep your partner trapped or to control your partner or to simply dominate that relationship. Boundaries, the purpose of it is to protect both of you, because it is a two-way street. It is to protect both of you, to protect the relationship, and so forth. Now, how you set the boundaries, the first thing is the process of it. The process of it, you want to discuss with your partner before you start, having certain things that you set in place, because you want to make sure you both are on the same page, you both agree or at least compromise when it comes to certain topics or certain things that you feel like there needs to be boundaries. For example, my wife and I, whenever we first started dating, one of the things that she did not like was how I would talk to some of my women friends that I've had in the beginning. Before, while I was single, I had friends. I spoke to them at any time of the day, but she did not like the fact that sometime way after, 10 o'clock per se, I would still get on my phone and reply to their message and carry conversation where she didn't feel like it was appropriate to have those type of conversation later at night with those women. So although they were innocent, but for her, she just didn't feel comfortable for those late night conversations. And sometimes those late night conversations are something you should be concerned about. So instead of me getting defensive and saying, okay, this is not something that should be a big deal, but I took my time to make sure I understood from her perspective. And from there, we said, okay, our boundaries, we're both going to have friends that we are not going to speak with them within those hours. Obviously, if there's an emergency, and this is not something that everyone should have, it's a big deal. It was just something at the time where she felt more comfortable and secure if I was not, speaking to those people during that time. Now it's not even an issue. We are past a phase where she talks to her friends past those times, and sometimes I talk to my friends past those times. But at that time in our relationship, it was something that's important, and I think this is something that you should definitely consider when it comes to boundaries, is that sometimes they can change, because as you grow with each other, you become more one, and there's certain things that doesn't need to be set in place. But there are core things that should be set in place. For men, sometimes it's just, I guess one of the main things could be not looking at certain things at night, certain Instagram pages following, because I know this is a common issue that I see of men, maybe following models, women who aren't necessarily have too much on, women that, could, in terms of imagination, can be in competition with their partners. So it's setting those things, not saying that in some cases the men don't think they're lusting after them, they just think it's a nice thing to look at. But if it makes a woman feel uncomfortable, and to quite honestly, to me, I wouldn't even set myself in that position, because it can put you in a position of lust where it pulls you away, or it starts to distract you from what you really have and what matters. But those are some things that you should just cut out. And at the core, it's just there's certain, obviously, cheating. This is not negotiable. You shouldn't have. Now, there are many relationships that that survive cheating, but you should set standards of like, hey, if I'm with you, at least exclusivity is something that should matter, because let's say, if I'm with you, you shouldn't be entertaining other people. If I'm with you, you shouldn't be carrying yourself as if you're single. If I'm with you, you should spend time with me. If I'm with you, there's many things that you should have. And in terms of boundaries to protect it, is saying, okay, this, your ex, maybe you're not set the relationship at a different tone, where, or the friendship, if you have a friendship with your ex, change the tone of that, where it's not necessarily you guys still hanging out while I have a partner, because that happens quite often. And it's all based on what you guys discuss and what is comfortable or uncomfortable, and coming to that conclusion. But that's how you set boundaries. It's to protect the relationship, to help the relationship grow, and as you guys grow, you can be in a position where those boundaries change or evolve. Hey, one more thing. If you've enjoyed this video, please remember to subscribe. And also don't forget to hit that notification button. And last thing, comment below. I do want to hear your question, and maybe it's the next one I answer on here. Until next time.